Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
Here at Aspen Builders, our company is building more homes today than I thought we would ever build.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, I am just shocked at how strong our market is here in Lincoln and at Aspen Builders. We're probably helping people right now more than ever get into a new home. We've been able to find pieces of ground we can develop affordably and keep our lot prices down a little bit. I think with our volume discounts and our office staff, 35 years of experience, we figure out a plan that's going to work great for you. We make it perfect. We make it fit your price range. All of this is part of the reason we're so busy.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt.
Terrell Farley.
Defending Terrell Farley,
who last week in his first start was a holy terror. Number 43.
And Jake Bockoven. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
Welcome to Bock and the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. It is October 27th, 2025, and it's close to Halloween.
That's right.
Trick or treat, smell my feet, give me something good to eat. It's a great day, man, because the Huskers are 6-2 bowl eligible before November. Great win Saturday versus Northwestern, Bock. Not a blowout. But a win is a win to me, Bach.
Yeah, I mean, if you're counting at home, maybe you say they didn't cover the spread, all that sort of stuff. But one way or the other, like you said, 6-2, 28-21, gutted out of victory. Another one where you're kind of holding your breath toward the end, but Nebraska was able to, in back-to-back wins now, drive down the field, get the victory touchdown, and then the defense coming out there and forcing a turnover on downs for Northwestern. Again, this was a good response from Nebraska, I think, considering the absolute beatdown they took from Minnesota. And I think that's been something that's been consistent over Matt Rule's tenure here at Nebraska, as they do seem to respond to adversity pretty well. And so, Northwestern might not be the most exciting, eccentric team, but I think it is going to be a bowl team. And I think along with Cincinnati now, another solid victory for Nebraska. So if you're kind of counting the good victories back in that category as well, I think it's another bowl team that Nebraska beat and on their way to a bowl season. Obviously, we know the goal here, the bar is we're trying to raise that, or past just a pinstripe bowl appearance or something like that. But to get that done, like you said, before we hit Halloween, my favorite holiday of the year, very, very much going to make me happy. And especially, we can have some really good Halloween memories if here on Saturday, I think there's going to be a lot of black in the stadium. I think there's going to be some costumes in the stadium, maybe still from Halloween. We could have a very good memory made if Nebraska can top USC, which of course we'll talk about all week. The blackout, we already got our black shirts on. Maybe we'll just do it throughout the week.
Well, here's the thing, Bach. I'm looking for more black gear. I have a lot of black gear. I want to be different. I want to wear something new. Went inside my storage room, man, not outside the house. Got a little got a brand new storage room out there. It's a couple $1,000, but I had clothes out there that I didn't even know. I had like 3 laundry baskets full of clothes, and I brung them out the house. I brung them in the house, washed them, found my Jordan pants, found my black shirt right here, my Shield shirt.
Nice.
And you know, I'm excited about this game because it's a night game, NBC, blackout, day after Halloween, plenty of candy to eat. I'm going to go to Walmart, get some candy on the 1st. It'd be cheaper. You know, I'm not.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Halloween giver outer.
Yeah. Turn the porch light off.
Turn the porch light out. Put my dog on the front porch. Now I'm just playing. But yeah, Bock, this game this weekend was a nail biter. Nebraska went up. They came back and tied it up. Still have some holes in there that we got to figure out. This team we finna play. Probably the best team by far we're going to play this year when we talk about athlete-wise. This team is probably the most talented team we're going to face this year besides a Michigan team. I think I still think Michigan did beat them. Didn't they beat Michigan? Or Michigan beat them?
Let me double check.
I don't know which one, but I think they're more talented on offensive-wise than Michigan is. So defense really they're big, they're massive, they're California kids, they're kids from all over the nation, but you know, one of the better states that you can recruit out of, and I just think they're gonna be a handful for us.
Yeah, they beat Michigan 31-13. Obviously, that was previously the best team that Nebraska played. One of the 2 losses on the year. You might have thought Minnesota might be in argument for that, but then of course they got beat down by Iowa this past week. So it's going to be a tough game. I think we're going to hear a lot around the week about USC, the athletes that they're going to bring. Jaden Maiava has been a fantastic quarterback all year long. Specifically, you look at Mekhi Lemon. I mean, he's going to be trouble for Nebraska. But I will remind people, this is not, it's not like you're playing the number, 3 or 5 team in the nation. And even if you were, I mean, this was a team that Nebraska played with when you're down to a 1-possession game, came down to the end last year. This might be a better USC team than they were last year, but still, I don't think there should be any fear of Nebraska just not being able to line up. I don't think it's the greatest matchup, if you will, but it's still one, again, that they've played with before. So now this time, instead of being at the Coliseum, come over here for a night game. Opportunity for another top 25 victory. Should be a crazy, crowd. Matt Rule's asking for that today. And hopefully the home field can be worth a few points for Nebraska.
Now, what did you just say about it's not what, Bock, now?
I don't know what I said.
about the USC team. This is a high-powered offense.
Not a number 3 or number 5 team.
No, it's not that. They're 25 or 24, 23, whatever it is, but they're still a great team.
A good team. I wouldn't go great.
I mean, not great, but good. I mean, what would you call us then if you call us what?
I think we're a solid team.
Unmasked Texter says, it won't be a blackout because me and my family will be wearing red. Sea of red. This isn't the Raiders. This is Nebraska.
I almost wanted to start a movement and be like the red guy this week and be like, hey, wear red, throw out the black shirt. That way people would be mad at me, even though it wouldn't be anything that I did, right? There's going to be people that wear red. There are going to be people that are against it. And
the 50s and older will wear red. 50s and over, believe it, Bob. Old people don't budge. They're not going out and buying anything black. They're gonna wear their crimson, their scarlet, whatever, red jackets.
Scarlet and cream.
Yeah, red jackets, red hats, white hats with the old Nebraska on it. I mean, it's probably not going to be a full stadium full of black.
Well, it is interesting too because you obviously highlight the black, the tradition of the black shirts. While I said this is not a top 5 team overall, it is the number 1 offense in the country. I mean, they average 530 yards per game, number 1 passing offense in the country, averaging 326 yards per game. And despite that's the crazy thing, despite throwing for 325 yards a game, they average more than 200 yards rushing. This is a very high-profile offense that's coming in. So Nebraska, I mean, the blackout, the black shirts are going to have to play well and respond to that. And I think that's probably a little bit of a hesitation from people as well, as historically, even to include this year, the alternate uniforms, the blackout jerseys hasn't really worked. Nebraska hasn't been winning those games. And so, even myself, I mean, I got excited about this thing. I think it's unique. It's kind of fun. I like alternate uniforms, all the talk around it. But at this point, I'm a little bit over it. In Nebraska's leaning into it. If you went to their kind of press conference today, their notes, I mean, everything's kind of the black logo. Nebraska's really leaning into it. But it's just, to me, that Minnesota game, you wore the all whites, the pink, all that, and it was the worst performance we've seen maybe under the Matt Rule era. So it can be a part of it. It can be part of the fun. It will be a lot of the fun talking point that we'll have this week to see how much is actually a blackout. But as far as how much does it actually mean on the field, not a whole lot.
Well, I'm not talking about anybody on the text line. I'm talking about the people like Ernestine and who's like 72, 80 years old, Ernestine and Jimbo or somebody like that who doesn't care. I mean, not saying they don't care. I mean, they're fans of Bob Devaney. They're fans of Tom Osborne, guys who never let us wear stuff like that because we kept it plain and simple. So I'm not even let's go to the text line. I'm gonna start it right there. Mr. Mike D, 57 years young, have black Husker t-shirts, but my Husker jacket is red. So stadium blackout might work better in September. I feel you right there, because everybody doesn't have a black jacket, and we are now down to the fall part of Nebraska, and hey, it gets pretty cold in the morning and cold at night. Yeah. So you have to check out those things.
Although they might think, I mean, most jackets, most coats are black, right? So this might actually work in Nebraska's favor in that.
All right, Songbird, we wore all red against Houston Christian. That game went great. Hey, this is not Houston Christian, so I'm going to have to stop you right there while I'm down with Songbird.
Yeah, they could have worn polka dots against Houston Christian. It would have been the same result.
Old Dad 34. Scarlet and cream black shirt, not black in my opinion. And every time we wear other colors, we lose. So stop wearing alternate uniforms. 8356 says black shirt, 58-year-old dude here, and I would be in black. LOL. And no, I'm not buying the $60 black hoodie I saw yesterday.
What you do? I mean, it doesn't remind me. If you need one, we do have Bock the Blackshirt shirts.
Yeah, we don't have sweaters.
No,
we have t-shirts.
Yeah.
Wear you some long johns on it.
Looks nice.
Bill and Bennett says I'm 60 and embracing the blackout. Jim, I'm 62 and I'm wearing black.
There we go.
All right, let me see Bones. Bones might throw us a curveball here. People are too darn anal about the whole uniform thing. I've been watching Husker football since 1980, and it's like, in the great words of Aaron Rodgers, just relax. 5162 says Sea of Red is highly guarded tradition, and it's cool, but the players want us to wear black, and one game isn't going to ruin the tradition. Well, you can say that, but that's on them. So, all right, Bock, I want to take a time out for a minute to talk to the people on the text line about our picks. I'm not going to get into the picks right now, but everybody knows I have a tradition that I pick against the team Nebraska. No, I pick the team that Nebraska's playing so that Nebraska wins. I didn't pick them the week before against Minnesota, but I think I deserve a win for that every week, Bock, when I because I'm throwing a victory away, Bock.
I don't think so, because now if you do that, and this is the reverse psychology game you're playing, is that if they do win, then you're just gonna say, so you can't count it.
Okay, so I'll tell you what, I'm going. Okay, not this week. Now I'm not.
We know how much you like the Trojan Man song. So
I'm a Trojan man. Yeah, I have to go with them. I'm gonna have to go with them this week. So
they are favored for people looking out for that early line.
6.5.
6.5. Yep.
6.5. So you can't really fault me for that. This team Nebraska team is good. So, but When we talk about this UCLA team, you talk about a high-power offense. You talk about some defenses getting better than it usually was. But when we talk about the offense, that wide receiver Lemons guy you talk about, man, that guy is out of this world. When I talk about super talent, he's like Ja'Cory Barney on steroids, when you talk and how fast he is. He can get up that field. But, 5769 says, our only chance versus USC. Let me get this right. Let me get it right. Is this the right one? No. It's not coming up, Bob.
Where are you looking? Unmasked Texter?
No, 5739. Oh, no, I'm on the wrong one. You good. All right, Bob. Let's talk about this game you're gonna give me back.
I'm not giving you that game back. You can't choose between. You can't play the reverse psychology. You would be back. You'd be on the right side one way or the other. If you pick the opponent so that Nebraska can win, and then Nebraska wins, well, then you get a win. If you just pick Nebraska to win, then you get a win. So that's just not going to work. You're gonna have to choose now. And by the way, for the updated rankings, you did go 5-5 this week. That was the worst on the board. If you would have just picked Nebraska, you'd have been 6-4. Which would have tied myself in the text line. And due to that, you're actually trailing the text line now by a game.
Oh, I'm not worried about them. Them guys can't even pick. So, you know what I'm saying? They've been struggling lately, Bock, the last couple of games. Start off high, end off low. So we're not even going to worry about that part.
Yeah, everybody has a good and a bad week. By the way, Kenny Wilhite this week, 8-2. He was the one to listen to this week. So.
No, I'm not listening to Kenny. He followed after me.
Fair enough. By the way, this week in college football, too, you might notice when you're looking at the rundown, not as heavily stacked as some of the previous weeks. So Nebraska USC, not only is it a primetime game, but it will be one of the better games of the week. Oklahoma, Tennessee, probably, you got some ranked matchups, Oklahoma and Tennessee, Cincinnati and Utah, which that one will be interesting. But, some of the other games have, you lost some punch from them. The Georgia-Florida game, usually a great game. Well, Florida's 3-4, and they just fired their coach. Vanderbilt, Texas is going to be a great game. But obviously the Penn State-Ohio State game's lost some punch to it. So if the Nebraska-USC game is good, especially in that window, you could get a lot of attention from college football. I think, though, I will say this, same time, same window, Oklahoma and Tennessee. But those are two 6-2 teams. Nebraska-USC is 6-2 and 5-2 team, respectively, in USC. So rankings be damned. It's about even in my book.
Yeah, Bock. It's probably all about Nebraska this weekend, especially Saturday night when we get our chance to go on national stage and prove again, because we had another earlier national audience game against Michigan, and we kind of let that one go. But this one right here is going to be a big one for Nebraska. This is a chance for you to go 7-2 and probably gain some momentum of trying to make it to the postseason, but that's a slim postseason chance right there because of how the other teams are playing. I mean, you look at a team like Washington. I watched them this weekend, beat the brakes off Illinois. They're not a good road team though, but they're a great home team. So when you look at those teams like that, you still have Michigan in it. You still have a lot of 6-2 teams in it. But I think right now, if you haven't even cracked the top 25, it's going to be damn near impossible for you to get into the college playoffs at this point right here with less than probably 4 games left for the rest of the year.
Well, and I hate to do this because I don't think it should be the goal or something we're talking about. And I don't think this Nebraska team is a playoff team, but they're still, if they win their next 4 games, they certainly could be. A 10-2 Big Ten team is going to have an argument. We've talked about it before. Would they have the strength of schedule? Maybe not. Maybe they'd be a Big Ten team left out at 10-2, but that would be surprising. But I think it's way too early for that because there's 4 tough games here. Again, Nebraska not favored against USC. Based on what Minnesota did to Nebraska and what Iowa did to Minnesota, it's hard to think they're going to necessarily win that game. So their most likely games are UCLA and Penn State, maybe teams obviously that have replaced their coaches. Those games are on the road, so they have difficulties of their own in that category. So it's nothing is given. I don't necessarily want to talk about Nebraska in the playoffs. We've kind of been there before. I think we've got enough of a sample size, even coming off a win and being 6-2 to think probably not necessarily a playoff team at this point. But that kind of opens up the question of what is good enough for the final 4 games here. What would you like? I mean, of course, again, everybody, if you're talking about playoffs or bust, you need 4-0. But I think if you're being realistic about where Nebraska is and the steps they're taking as a program, and that has been an interesting conversation on the ticket all day. So I want to get your thoughts on it, Terrell, is they were talking about it on early break. Are you happy that Nebraska was 3-1 this month? Are you happy that they're 6-2 right now? Or were you expecting more? Are you not necessarily happy, not necessarily with the record or the result, but the look of the team?
Well, I'm happy about the record, but I'm not happy about the play. You struggled against 2 teams, 3 teams, really, if you look at it the last couple of weeks. I don't think Northwestern is a good team, period. They're a middle of the road team. They're probably the same notch as a Maryland team, probably not that good of a team, but we did enough to win. And sometimes you have to play those games, but you still have to turn it up a notch against these, and especially these last 4 game boxes, which is gonna probably be the hardest thing for me to do is give Nebraska a 3-1 record this month. I'm looking at a 2-2 thing. After watching Iowa this weekend, hey, they're no slouches, and they play great defense. So the thing about that, and you went to the game. I want to hear your experience when we come back from break, Bock, and we talk about this Nebraska-Northwestern game. But when we come back, I want to talk about the Iowa game. How did you like it, and the things that you did, and the things that you've seen, because you can really give us a scouting report until – I mean, we don't need it till another couple of weeks, Bock, but at the same time, you went there, you had a great time. I sat here and watched a game that scared me to death, that probably I was saying, here we go again, probably in the third quarter.
Yeah, it did feel that way once again.
All right, let's go to break. And when we come back, we're going to break down the Northwestern game, and we're going to hear a little story from Bock about his Iowa trip. 93.7 The Ticket, Bock in the Black Shirt. We'll be right back.
Are you afraid of the dark? Add a little light to your bite with a Raising Cane's glow-in-the-dark Halloween cup and enjoy a beverage while supplies last. Happy Halloween from Raising Cane's. One love.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Bonsall Pool & Spa's annual Spooktacular sale is here. Now through November 1st, get an extra $1,000 off hot tubs at an already low sale price and get $500 off the already low sale prices on infrared and traditional saunas. All hot tub water care products and accessories are also for sale for the Spooktacular sale, now through November 1st at Bonsall Pool & Spa at 33rd and Highway 2. Call for more info at 402-488-0148 or visit bonsallpool.com. Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Verne as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Here at Aspen Builders, our company is building more homes today than I thought we would ever build.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, I am just shocked at how strong our market is here in Lincoln and at Aspen Builders. We're probably helping people right now more than ever get into a new home. We've been able to find pieces of ground we can develop affordably and keep our lot prices down a little bit. I think with our volume discounts and our office staff, 35 years of experience, we figure out a plan that's going to work great for you. We make it perfect. We make it fit your price range. All of this is part of the reason we're so busy.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Fall is here, and so are cooler temps, darker evenings, and slick roads. Is your vehicle ready for the change in seasons? At A1 Automotive, we've got you covered. From tire checks, brake inspections, batteries, and heater systems, we make sure your car is road ready for the Nebraska winters ahead. Don't wait until the first frost. Schedule your fall car care checkup today and drive with confidence all season long. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Bock and the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. We are powered
by
Bauer
Infrastructure,
Bauer
Underground,
Brad
Excavating.
I kind of forgot. I was thinking about something. You know what I was thinking about? I went to this place. Are you a baked potato lover?
I wouldn't say a lover, but yes, I enjoy a baked potato.
You like loaded baked potatoes?
See, that's where I would say I'm mostly just kind of just a cheese
I
guy.
went to a place this weekend. They had Berea loaded baked potato. They had chicken fettuccine loaded baked potato, corned beef baked potatoes, barbecue baked potatoes. They had 3 meat baked potatoes. There's a place called Crazy Folks over there, Crazy Fork. Over off Pine Lake, 27 Pine Lake. If you haven't been there, try it out, man. It's great food.
How many baked potatoes you put down?
It's one big one, Bach.
Oh, okay.
It's
So
just
you can only do
one big baked potato that really had me full. I didn't eat none the rest of the day. And I probably got this. I left during the game to go get this because I looked it up and it looked so great. I had to ride and get it.
And they say too, like those baked potatoes, depending on how big they are, sometimes that could be a side. Sometimes that's a meal replacement, depending on how much you can stuff on that potato.
All right, Bach, let me hear about your weekend, man. You did something that Husker fans usually don't do.
That's right. I decided to go watch an Iowa game with that Nebraska was not included in. Is the Florida-Rosedale game, my favorite trophy in the Big Ten, and really in college football. It's a big bronze pig. How can you not like that? They've been fighting over that for years. And it was a game I was intrigued by. I thought we'd get an old-fashioned Big Ten West 16-13 type of game. Instead, Iowa just destroyed Minnesota 41-3. This game was over pretty quickly. Iowa fans didn't even know what to do with themselves in the stands there. I thought that was kind of funny. But a Minnesota team that ran for almost 200 yards on Nebraska ran for 24 yards against Iowa. So, I mean, if you want the scouting report as opposed to what Nebraska is going to face against Iowa, it's a physical team. They scored on offense. They scored on defense. They scored on special teams. They've got some playmakers there. Again, I didn't go away from the game incredibly impressed by Mark Gronowski or anything. So it's the Iowa team that you would expect, but they just laid it on a Minnesota team that laid it on Nebraska. It was fun altogether, though. I was fortunate that the Nebraska game was on while I was driving up to Iowa City, which is a long drive. That's the only downfall of this all. I've been to Kansas State, Iowa State, all those drives a little bit closer. This Iowa game, it felt like it was a little bit longer of a drive than I would have liked, but nevertheless, at least I was entertained up there on the way by the Nebraska fans, and then by the Nebraska game. But at the game, it was fun. I didn't wear Nebraska gear. I thought that I might, but I didn't want to get spit on, or it only takes one or two idiot Iowa fans if the rest of them are nice. And I'm glad that I didn't, because I'll tell you what, Iowa City, at least in the section I was in, and everywhere I walked, I think everybody was lit up. I mean, that was more of a drinking event than I think it is at Nebraska. I know the shooters or whatever, you can find a few of them that people bring into, laying on the ground at Nebraska. Again, in Iowa City, they're everywhere. There's shooters everywhere laying on the ground. There's this older family that was sitting behind me. And I saw them taking shots just in the middle of the game. So it's just everybody there was embracing that. I also thought it was funny. So the Iowa and Minnesota fans, there's enough Minnesota fans that traveled, and a few of them started bumping each other around. Right, it looked like maybe a fight was going to break out. And about, I don't know, maybe a 45-year-old Minnesota fan or whatever, he got these college students to calm down. You know how? He told the Minnesota fan, hey, keep your oar in the water. Keep the oar in the water. So they take that row the boat thing very seriously, which is hilarious because it doesn't really have a lot to do with Minnesota. It's just PJ Fleck, their coach. So I thought that was funny. But altogether, it was a good experience. I definitely encourage anybody that wants to go to a Nebraska game to go up there. I think it would be a lot of fun. It was a little bit weird too, because I thought of that trophy game. I always thought, it'd be a great rivalry. I didn't know if these fans would necessarily get along. That story I told about them pushing was kind of an outlier. For the most part, even though it was a blowout, they did get along. Even the dance teams worked together, which I thought was odd. You could always find the mascots kind of playing around with each other. So it's more of a friendly rivalry than a rivalry built on hate, at least from what I could tell.
So you also stayed the night in Iowa too?
I did. I traveled back to Des Moines because I didn't want to drive that far the next day. So I went about 2 hours back to Des Moines. So that was
it's about a 5.5 hour trip?
I think, yeah, it's like 5 hours.
Oh, okay. Because Des Moines is 3 hours from here.
Yeah.
This guy Murph says, what's up, fellas? He said, I've been listening all day and I'm sad nobody has brought up RoboDog at the game Saturday. I hope he becomes a stapler at our games. Now, he just said something wrong. He says, replace Little Red with RoboDog. I'm sorry, Murph, but I am a fan of Little Red.
You like Little Red, yeah?
Yeah, I think Little Red is because Herbie's scary. They need to update Herbie. They need to get him a new outfit or something. I mean, it's just Herbie is scary to me.
I did not know about RoboDog until he sent in this video here.
I know.
So yeah, I mean, maybe he can be something new. He's looking like he's walking around the band. I know I missed some interesting stuff here in Nebraska Northwestern. The game that I left. I know Bill Murray was in town. I thought that was interesting, shooting the Wiener Schlinger. I think Jake Swartz might know better than me that the trumpet guy's name, Trumpet something or other. He was in town. So that was kind of exciting.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go.
Jake,
hey,
did you know anything
Timmy
about
Trumpet?
Timmy Trumpet? There we go.
Timmy Trumpet.
That's the person.
Who was?
He had a concert Friday night at the Royal Grove, and then he was at the game for Nebraska Northwestern.
Who asked you about Timmy Trumpet?
I just mentioned it.
Oh,
just Bill Murray, the trumpet guy.
Listen to your co-host, Farley, crying out loud.
Did you see the RoboDog?
Yes.
No, you didn't talk about it.
Me.
It terrified you?
Yeah.
It's scary.
So the RoboDog I saw was during the halftime band performance, and my wife's like, "What is that on the field over there?" I said, "What are you talking about?" And I finally saw it poke out. Yeah, that robot dog is gonna like take over the world. It's gonna get us all.
Did it look like a real dog or what?
No, I close up, not really, but it acted like a dog. It's obviously a robot. Like, here's my
wag his tail when he's excited.
Here's a problem I have. Thank you for bringing me in, Farley. I don't mean just come in here and just derail the show, but for 20 plus years, we've seen movies about robots being made and taking over the world. Why do we want that to happen? We knew this could happen, and now we're going to make more robots for people and dogs and pets. It's going to be chaos of robots running the world.
Well, that's
why
one
do we
way.
fight this?
But hey, it does sound pretty good. But they have a robo dog.
You want to have a robot?
No,
running the
because
world? Don't you want, Farley?
Because robo dogs don't use the bathroom in the house.
That's right. Yeah.
Hey, I'm just saying.
I'm just making sure I'm hearing you right. Are you saying you want people to have robot pets?
Well, not really, Jake.
Why didn't you watch the Jetsons?
But
Nice.
I would love a robot maid.
Yeah, there you go. The Jetsons.
Okay, so you're living back in the 1970s, 80s. Jetsons here then.
Well, meet George Jetson.
His son, Leroy?
Yeah, Elroy.
Elroy.
Yeah. Elroy is not from the future. Elroy is a country guy. But you ever seen the videos with the robots they have that walk up to people that be like in California and stuff? Now those are scary.
I don't want that.
That's scary.
Why do you make that stuff? Why?
Well,
it's going to end up being a problem, Bock, Farley. Like, why do we want? We were told by movies from 30 years ago that this could happen. We laugh, say, "Oh, that would never happen." Guess what? It's the future, and that stuff exists, and we're inviting stuff to just take over the planet. And Spock says, "Well, unplug it." These things are smart, man. You made them to be smart. They know how to not self-destruct.
Railroader Matt says, "I want the robot from Rocky IV."
Oh yeah, that was a maid. Yeah, we should
go ahead.
You start with
make
maids,
it happen,
yeah.
Farley. Make it happen.
I'm just saying, Jake.
Now, was this RoboDog? I do have to ask. Was this RoboDog like Huskerized? Is he going to be a Husker RoboDog, or was he just there?
He was performing with the band.
No, he's just running out of the field.
He was running.
He's performing with them.
Yeah, he tried it out.
Just walking
I
around.
saw him on about. So I was in North Stadium. He was at the South Stadium about the 10-yard line during the band performance, going up and down the 10-yard line. So, and then he got a picture, I think, with Herbie Husker at the end. So, but we have brought this upon ourselves. If robots affect us, then that's our own fault.
Well, maybe we should have used RoboDog when the whole defense got caught in the inside, and that slow running back that looked like he's running a 15-2 in the 100 looked like we could have had RoboDog then.
You're telling me, back up a second, you want a RoboDog because it does not pee in the house?
Yes.
Or poop in the house?
Yes.
Can you pet the RoboDog?
Yes.
Will it cuddle you?
It purs like a kid.
Will it purr?
Yeah.
I like to hear the purring of the RoboDog.
Oh.
It'll sound like a machine. Purr, purr, like that.
You know what? Your name
weird things going
your
on.
name is not Jake Sorensen anymore. Your name is like Jake Seinfeld. Yeah,
Fine.
you're some kin to
Seinfeld
Jerry.
did very well for himself, so I'll take that.
You some kin to him?
No.
Okay.
Listen, Seinfeld did very well for himself in life. I don't mind that comparison.
Yeah, that'd be
if
good.
I could have even a quarter of his earnings, I'd be doing pretty well.
No, I didn't say he was kidding to you. Chris Farley got my last name. I'm not kidding to him, and he did pretty well for himself. You think I got a
You
dollar
have
out
a
of
similar
that?
humor though to Chris Farley.
Who?
You do.
Okay, whatever.
Seen it in a van down by the river, Matt Foley style.
Only a sip is Newman going forward.
Kind of is.
Your nemesis? Yeah, he's not your nemesis though.
No, he's not my nemesis. No, I don't have a nemesis.
You don't have a nemesis?
I don't well, maybe
Me.
What's his name on the text? Like Eric is kind of my
Oh,
nemesis.
man.
He's Nick's
Not-
nemesis.
not
He's the
Eric.
entire ticket.
He's the same-
He likes
Yeah,
being
that-
the heel. He likes being the guy that says, "Oh, you all
Yeah.
suck."
Yeah, he's
Eric
like
is Newman.
Yeah, Eric is Newman. That we should change his nickname to Newman on it. Eric Newman. Sounds good, don't it?
Who's the Kramer of this group?
Who's
Who's the crazy part? I mean, I have a little Kramer in me as well.
the guy that come in here with the dog all the time? What's his name? Work at Super Saver.
Oh, that's Brian. He's bringing his dog here.
Yeah, the guy who comes
like
in with the
John?
dog. John from John
John
and
in
Cortland.
Cortland?
Yeah.
He's not a Super Saver.
He does work
Brian
at Super
works at
Saver.
Super Saver.
John and Cortland works at Super Saver.
I didn't know that. That's
See?
news to me.
Yeah.
News to me, Farley.
All right. They say they don't want you. They say, hey,
what's the text?
look,
Read some text.
somebody
Read some
said, hey,
text.
This is Bock in the Black
I
Shirt.
got pulled in here. I was simply talking to Naked Austin about business and said,
He said,
I
look,
need you. I'm helping
he
you
said,
out. Now I want out of here.
Hey, Gus Bohawk
Rude.
says, hey, this is Bock in the Black Shirt, not early break. We don't need you yelling about stuff sounding like Jerry Seinfeld. Jake, what's the deal with robot dogs? Insert Jerry Seinfeld
Yeah,
voice.
well, I feel it. Yeah, that's fine. I could go all day about robot dogs. They're weird. How much does a robot dog even cost? Like
I think
millions?
they're expensive. Yeah, I don't know about that much.
$100,000 to have a pet that doesn't poop in the house?
Yeah.
Great.
Uh,
Doesn't shed either. Another win.
Hey.
Check. No shedding.
Hey, no soup for you. Get out.
Okay.
Get out. No soup for
You
you.
invited me in. I will gladly walk out.
Thank you. And I don't want you to.
Oh, wait, one last thing.
No, don't you do it. No.
You brought me in.
No. I know
Falcons
what you finna do.
Uh-oh.
We let the worst team
Should've
in
made that bet.
NFL beat us. Didn't I try to make a bet with
You
him?
tried
Bob?
to make a bet with him. You wouldn't believe in him.
Look at this box.
Yeah.
Pins up. And here's the bird.
Bob, go to break, Bob, so we can get him out of here.
Congrats on your 34-10 lashing by the
Oh,
Dolphins.
my. It wasn't even close.
It was 34-3 at one point, Bob.
Mm.
They were 7-point favorites. 97% of the public money was on the Falcons yesterday. And that's why you play the game. Thank you.
Get out of here.
Extend Mike McDaniel. Those are the words
Pins up.
of. Yep, there you go.
No
93
hobo dogs.
93.7 The Ticket, Bock in the Black Shirt. We are cruising along, but you know what? We got to talk Husker football when we come back. Bock in the Black Shirt, 93.7 The Ticket. Be right back.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes. Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Fall is here, and so are cooler temps, darker evenings, and slick roads. Is your vehicle ready for the change in season? At A1 Automotive, we've got you covered. From tire checks, brake inspections, batteries, and heater systems, we make sure your car is road ready for the Nebraska winters ahead. Don't wait until the first frost. Schedule your fall car care checkup today and drive with confidence all season long. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial to residential to agriculture storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post-frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com. Bonsall Pool & Spa's annual Spooktacular sale is here. Now through November 1st, get an extra $1,000 off hot tubs at an already low sale price and get $500 off the already low sale prices on infrared and traditional saunas. All hot tub water care products and accessories are also for sale for the Spooktacular sale, now through November 1st at Bonsall Pool & Spa at 33rd and Highway 2. Call for more info at 402-488-0148 or visit bonsallpool.com.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, expecting overcast skies, the light breeze, an afternoon high around 57. Tonight, showers likely, the low around 46. And tomorrow, a continued chance of showers. Otherwise, cloudy skies will be windy, behind your 56. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left at once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Hay harvest is a race against time. Order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower to harvest your hay quickly and efficiently while promoting quick dry down for quality hay. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location for full details on a new self-propelled windrower and experience the Landmark difference.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Bock and the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. Bock, I was going to go over the Nebraska game, but we only got a few minutes through break, so let's read some of the text line. Cornhead JS1 says, the tiny people in Iowa and Minnesota had no idea that you know who was in the crowd with his bad luck towel, which I appreciate him jinxing boat rowers. LOL. Blackshirt Rule and Raiola said you need to go get the blackout jersey. Break us off, my man. Shoot, he gonna charge me too. Shoot, I jersey. I have my Blackshirt jersey, but I'm not wearing that to the game. Robbie and Iowa says maybe Jake is Kramer just busting in. What else we got there, Bob? Sip is what's that guy that no soup for you? How they say his name?
He's just the soup Nazi. I don't think he has a name.
Bones said maybe Robot Dog could help us in some of the close games. If he sees the opponent fixing the score, go ahead and touchdown toward the end of the game. He could outrun on the field and bite them right on the butt.
Similar to Uga, what he did back in the day against some of the Auburn players.
Yeah. Bill and Bennett says drunken Iowa fans are still not as obnoxious as Kratos and baseball fans.
Well, they weren't. I will say this: as much as everybody seemed to be a little bit tipsy, they didn't seem to be too obnoxious. Again, the game wasn't too close, so maybe that would have factored in a little bit more.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like that. I've seen videos of robots that be in the mall and just walk up to people, and some of them are crazy and some of them not.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, I get Jake's concern about robots taking over the world, but it's a it's a valid concern. But I at least want to see the robots get up to that point, right? To where like you said, I just want it'd be nice to have them as a maid.
Yeah. Bill and Bennett also says, how about Bock quit making you pick the Nebraska game, black shirt? Yeah. Maybe we should make that just
take that out of it, the whole thing.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm losing a game every week because of this. Big Daddy Travis says, deep in your heart, you felt like Nebraska was going to lose, as I did. Nebraskans don't have a team to get into a shootout with USC. They will have to be perfect game for Nebraska. I think so. I mean, I just think that team is speed-wise is faster than us, more athletic than us, and have more gifted athletes than us, especially on the offensive side of the ball when you talk about the receivers and the running back and also the quarterback. So you have to, it's going to be great to watch a game full of stars like the USC team has, but at the same time, you also have to remember that we're Husker fans at the same time.
Well, and I will say this too, is Nebraska, I think a lot of it, again, is going to be focused on USC's offense, and it should. Total offense, again, number one in the nation. They don't have a great defense. Their total defense is 68th in the nation, scoring defense 56th in the nation. They gave up over 306 yards rushing to Notre Dame in their defeat there. Now, that's Notre Dame. I get that Nebraska's not there, but Nebraska did show at least an ability this past game to lean into the rushing game. Emmett Johnson, 27, career high, 27 carries. I thought that was great. We as we break down the Nebraska Northwestern game, that's one thing we've been asking for, right? Is Emmett Johnson, a couple weeks ago, I think I was asked who's the MVP at, approaching midseason of Nebraska's team, and I didn't have an answer yet. I have an answer now, and it's pretty obvious. It's Emmett Johnson on the offensive side of the ball. So if you can kind of lean into that, hopefully steal a special teams touchdown. Ja'Cory Barney, Kenneth Williams. I mean, Nebraska's got some big time threats back there. There's definitely a path to Nebraska winning this game. Again, that's why I would kind of want to jump in front of it. I don't think they need a near perfect game. I think they need to play well, right? You're not going to beat anybody the way you played against Minnesota. But I don't want to build up USC as some juggernaut. They're good. They are offensively, but throw Lincoln Riley into the name of coaches that fans aren't going to be too happy with if they lose this week.
Yeah. Monty G in Kansas said Georgia Bulldog is going to be replaced with Robo Dog.
Never.
Nah.
Uga's the best, probably the best mascot in college football, I'd say.
Uga?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Uga.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the best team in Georgia right now is Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets.
Very well could be.
I like the way that they're playing. I mean, I love the way they're playing. I mean, I'm also a fan. I hung out with Georgia Tech guys when I first left Nebraska. And I went to Atlanta and worked out, and I hung out with Georgia Tech guys. And they're smart nerds, but they also are football players, because it's an engineer school, Bock. So it's not the part about them being engineer guys. It's the part about they have a third-year coach also who's 8-0.
Well, yeah, and it's been exciting. It's been fun for them. They haven't been exactly blowing people out, so that's the one thing. I mean, they blew Syracuse out, but a 7-point win over Colorado, 3-point win over Clemson team that we now know isn't very good. A 1-point win over Wake Forest. So their schedule isn't too difficult. Leading up to that Georgia game, North Carolina State, Boston College, Pitt has been pretty good because that could be one to look out for. But it really is building up, and I love those games. It doesn't happen often, but when Georgia Tech and Georgia are both very good and there's high stakes on the game, hopefully that's what we'll see by the end of the year for what do they call it? The good, clean, old-fashioned hate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we have this weekend, we have the, what they call it, the biggest tailgate in the world. Whatever
World's largest cocktail party.
Yeah, they changed it. What it used to be called.
I think that's what it used to be called.
Yeah.
Now it's called something else.
Yeah.
Softer.
Yeah. All right, let's go to break, Bock. And when we come back, we're going to break down the Husker game, and then we're going to hear some of Matt Rule and see what he has to say about the game and this weekend. 93.7 The Ticket. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740. Shwezo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Shwezo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at shwezo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
When it comes to keeping your equipment running, you've got options at Landmark Implement. Whether you need premium John Deere parts or a more economical solution, A&I parts from Landmark deliver the dependable performance you can count on with cost savings up to 40%. From filters and bearings to belts and everyday repairs, A&I parts are built to work as hard as you do while helping stretch your budget further. Stop by your local Landmark Implement parts counter today or shop online anytime at shop.deere.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial to residential to agriculture storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post-frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop!
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
When the clock strikes 0 after every Nebraska football game, there's only one place to go for instant coverage. Tune in for the Husker After Party Postgame Show on 93.7 The Ticket for each game, win or lose. Call in with all your takes or text the show at 464-5685 and hear quotes from the players and coaches, too. It's the Husker After Party Postgame Show, sponsored by Anderson Ford and Vinnie Krekak of State Farm Insurance.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to Bock in the Blackshirt.
Terrell Farley. Defending Terrell Farley, who last week in his first start was a holy terror. Number 43.
And Jake Bockoven. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
Welcome back to Bock the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. We are powered
by
Bauer.
Infrastructure.
Bauer.
Underground.
Barrett.
Excavating.
All right, Bock, let's go over the the Northwestern game.
Be nice to play North Carolina, too.
Yeah, the way they getting spanked. Let's talk about the Northwestern game versus Nebraska. Scary game for me. When I look at it, because Nebraska was up comfortable, then next thing you know, they lose the lead. I don't know if they like battling teams like that, but you can't do it week in and week out. I think you're really going to meet your match one day, and this is probably the team that's going to do it this weekend. But let's go over some things. Emmett Johnson, my pick for the team MVP. I don't care how the rest of the year goes for Emmett. He's the MVP of this team. 27 carries, 130 yards, net 124, 2 touchdowns, 4.6 yard average. Isaiah Mose, 3 carries, 28 yards, 9.3 yards a carry. Ja'Cory Barney had 3 carries, 11 yards. Dylan Riola, 16 of 22, 141, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 1 sack, and 1 fumble. When you talk about that part, Nazir Hunter had 6 catches for 70 yards. Dane Key had 3 for 23, 3 for 22. Barney 3 for 13. Emmett 2 for 15. Luke Lindemeyer 1 for 15. But when you look at the part on the offensive side, it was a down day for the offense. When you talk about passing wise, only 141 yards. When you talk about Emmett, 27 carries. I said if we could get Emmett the ball 25 to 30 times a game, he would show us who he is, and he did exactly that.
Well, yeah, and then you throw in a couple of receptions there. So he touched the ball 29 times. And again, I think that's the pathway to success. A lot of talk this past week, of course, about that Minnesota game. I think the biggest problem with that was the game plan and not getting Emmett the ball enough. This week helps a lot when you don't get sacked 9 times, right? And part of that is not dropping back as much. But, big credit to Nebraska's offensive staff and the personnel involved. Again, it might not be the most, they didn't even break 300 yards as far as total offense. In fact, they were outgained this game with Northwestern. But it's not about stats, it's about wins, right? And that's what Nebraska was able to do, put together a game plan to win. Dylan Riola, again, not the flashiest game, but he was able to engineer the game-winning drive. And part of that was, Dane Key, a broken tackle. Wide receivers, that's a big part of this too, as far as these kind of yards after contact. Nebraska's wide receivers have not done a great job this year of breaking those tackles. Dane Key had a big one that prolonged that first down. So, this is the game plan. Again, this is more of a game plan in my mind that Nebraska can lean on to win games because I don't think, especially you talk about USC coming in, Nebraska's path to victory is not trying to outgun USC to win a shootout.
Slow them down.
It's going to be more like this game plan here. So I think this is more of the path that Nebraska can use. Again, not the flashiest and maybe not the most exciting, but I think one that will give them more victories if they stick to it.
Buck, you wasn't here to see the game, but Dylan Riola tried to run and he ran into a little traffic roadblock, as I must call it, and he fumbled the ball away.
Yeah.
So, things like that, we don't need Dillon to run. I mean, we seen it all year. We've seen the things that come with it. And this could have been a major blow right here if Northwestern could have took advantage of that situation. When you look at Kenneth Williams, who had the 95-yard kickoff return, almost broke one against Maryland, but he really got out of the gates this time and got down the field.
Yeah, and it almost looked, it set up so well. I don't think that was just his speed that done it. I give credit to Mike Eckler and the way they kind of set that up. So Kenneth Williams, and the only sad part about all this, it's 100% a great story. The sad part about it is we're not going to have walk-ons soon, right? There's another great walk-on story and a long list of them for Nebraska football. And what a weapon he is, quickly becoming one of the best kick returners in the nation, not just in the Big Ten, and a weapon you have to look out for. And again, along with Ja'Cory Barney in the punt return game, all of a sudden Nebraska, the special teams went from god-awful, the worst I've ever seen, to okay, it's getting better. Actually looks pretty complete to start off the year, to now, this heading toward the end of the season. This is one of the best special teams unit in the nation, and it really is incredible to see the turnaround. It's absolutely night and day from what we've seen, not just last year, which was abysmal, as I mentioned, but a large part of the Scott Frost tenure, he just kind of turned off the lights on special teams. There were 2 years I can remember specifically where it's like, we're not going to return anything, punts or kicks, because we don't have anything to set it up. It's not going to be anything successful for us. So, it is incredible to see Nebraska be able to do this. The story of Kenneth Williams is absolutely great. Again, a track star that Matt Rule noticed is running speed. I think it was in the papers or something, and then about reaching out to him. He's got an interesting future ahead of him, Kenneth Williams does, because he is an absolute weapon now and just a sophomore.
Yeah, great guy, fast guy, speed rules in college football, great blocks on that. You got to give Mike Eckler his props, because without him, this team would not be where it's at right now. I think special teams is going to play a big part in this USC game. I think if we win that game, it's going to be part duly to special teams, blocking kicks, running punt returns back, running kickoff returns back. And when you talk about that part of the game, that also helps get points in the game too.
Well, and I also wonder too, because, and I don't know if Matt Rule talked about it, but just the psychology of where the team was at halftime. Remember last week they were down 7-6 to Minnesota, and he said it was just a bunch of guys hanging their heads. This week, again, it wasn't the flashiest start for Nebraska. They were only up 7-6 at halftime. The Kenneth Williams kick return coming out of the halftime break. And so I just kind of wonder, obviously, a point difference. It makes a big difference if you're up by one or down by one, but it really shouldn't. There's a whole second half to go. I wonder what kind of the halftime energy was. And certainly, whatever it was, it went to 100 once Kenneth Williams touched the ball to open the second half. But yeah, plenty of interesting things to break down. I will say this, as you're kind of talking about Dylan Raiola too, is this is the second game that he's been bailed out with an interception that the timeliness of it really could have hurt Nebraska. And obviously this was one of those there. And I know we'll get to it here in a second, but man, was it great to see that Javen Wright has fought through so many injuries and over the career to make that big game-changing interception, the game-changing play that he did. But I just did want to point out, it is something that Nebraska is winning as a team, and these interceptions that's Dylan thrown. I believe the other one was against Maryland at a time that could have swung the game in the opposite direction that way as well. And then he turns around and ends up by the end of the game on these game-winning drives. So he's showing a lot of ability to bounce back. It might not be the flashiest game or the game plan that put the most on his shoulders, but when they needed him for that touchdown drive these last couple of times in their last couple of wins, he's been there. And now you wonder, can he do it against the better teams? Here's an opportunity this week with USC coming in.
But when we talk about Holgorsen offense, to be held to 21 points this week, they only got, no points last week when we talk about the two field goals that we got. Scoring 21 this week, Dylan is looks like the same kind of numbers he had last year. When you talk about his numbers that he put up, he's 1,909 yards, 17 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 8.1 yards a pass. But $239 a game. 239 a game. But when you look at it, it seems like Holgerson is cutting back on some of his offensive plays when you talk about this Nebraska offense.
Yeah, I mean, I think they have. I mean, and it can go pretty quickly to your opportunities. It's not like Nebraska had a bunch of 3-and-outs in this game. They had a missed field goal, I think, which maybe played into their decision going into halftime to not go for the field goal, which I thought was a big deal. I thought maybe Nebraska should have done that. Remember, that Dylan Raiola fumble was on a 4th and 1 where he picked up the first down, but it was such a wild play call in my mind. So, I mean, I'm not completely happy whether Nebraska wins or loses. They lose, bash the game call. They win, praise it, right? There's a lot of distinction in there because in that play specifically, and he did. I mean, he scrambled for the first, but ended up fumbling it. So even that you can have an argument about whether it was successful or not. But if you would have told me to kick the field goal or run the play they did, which was a fake handoff and have Raiola boot out, like I'm all for going for it, but that's not the play I would have picked.
Yeah.
Right. And so I also thought maybe it would have been an opportunity, obviously, to take more than a field goal lead on Northwestern. At that point, only had a couple field goals in the game. Might have come down to a field goal game. So that was an interesting play call. I didn't absolutely love it. An opportunity for some more points, I guess, is what I was kind of getting to altogether. That just didn't go in Nebraska's favor one way or the other. I mean, this offense might not be kind of hitting on all cylinders. You kind of look at the numbers again. If it's from week to week, their passing offense took a hit. They were one of the top 12 passing offenses or something like that heading into the week. Didn't rely on it so much this week, so they're back to 25th. The total offense down to 57th. Not as flashy as some of the Dana Holgerson numbers we know and kind of are used to from his days, especially as an offensive coordinator, but his early days as a head coach. But again, you just kind of look for the effectiveness of it at some point in Dylan Raiola's career. I think it would be great to drop back and really put the game in his hands and try to throw for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns every game. But Nebraska as a team, Raiola is one thing, but Nebraska as a team, the pass protection issues they've had, that's not where they are right now. So, all those kind of fun, gaudy stats, I would say table them or the expectation for them here. That you're in the heart, you're in the meat of the Big Ten schedule. You're not going to get any defenses that are going to allow you to just kind of, have a numbers game against them. It's going to be more difficult for Nebraska's offense moving forward. But again, that's why I say I think it was a big positive step to see them rely on Emmett, and that in its own right is a fascinating conversation because it's great and it was what they needed, I think, for this game plan in order to help win. But can you give Emmett the ball 30 times a game? Probably not without injury at some point. And so you need some of those backups to develop. And something Nebraska has not done too well is develop anybody else that can touch the ball. We haven't seen Quentin Ives or Mekhi Nelson in weeks, despite them being in the running back conversation. Isaiah Mosey had a couple carries, even a 21-yarder that looked good in this game, but still not trusting him with the ball too much. At some point, if you are going to rely on the running game as much as Nebraska appears to be kind of transitioning to, you need some more reliable bodies back there. So again, there's holes. I mean, there's problems that we'll talk about when we get to the Matt Rule press conference. There's going to be a big focus this week on the tackle position. Nebraska, obviously, Trevor or Prohaska is going to be out for the season. Gatula might not be able to go. That's a position that Nebraska 100% healthy is a little bit of a question mark. And I should say, I'd say to be nice. I mean, we all know about the discussion points last week with the offensive line. So it's far from a complete team. It's far from the most perfect offense, but they're going to have to grind them out, in my opinion, to get these wins. And they showed the ability to do that on Saturday.
Yeah. Bock, when we talk about the defense, well, we can talk about the yards because Nebraska had 296 yards of total offense. Northwestern had 331 yards of total offense. The only bad part I've seen on the defense, which they did not get a sack, probably hurts. But at the same time, 11 guys stuck in the middle, Bock, and this guy busts out on the outside, and he breaks a yard he breaks it off for like 57 yards, Bock, 56 yards. He ended up with 17 carries for 125 yards. Preston Stone didn't do too much, but he did enough to move his team down the field. So, I think Donovan Jones and And when you talk about Javen Wright, they saved this game for this team because, Javen Wright drops right back. I think Preston Stone didn't even really look at him, but, you threw it right to the guy. So you have to think about those things. And Donovan Jones with a great interception also. But, we did enough to win this game, and that's the good point of being a black shirt because they preserved the game for this team.
Yeah, they absolutely did. And again, I mean, we talked about it with some of the playmakers that were involved. Javen Wright has been a guy that's just been absolute tackle machine over the last several weeks. This time, just one tackle, but he got the all-important interception in this game. You mentioned Donovan Jones getting his first career interception as well. Give credit to Michael Severe, who came on with the character and said, Preston Stone's going to give a few of them to you. It's just a matter of whether you take advantage of them. And Nebraska was able to take advantage of them. The defense now, I mean, I don't know if we kind of think of this as more of an offense or a defensive team, but the defense right now is number 12 in the nation in total defense. I'd say that's a pretty good marking for a first-year defensive coordinator, obviously with some of the problems they have in rush defense. And it was more of the same story there. Northwestern aims toward averages 190 yards rushing on the ground. They got 172. And again, it was a big one that hurt Nebraska. You take that one out, Nebraska, probably did pretty good against the run otherwise, but that's kind of been the Achilles heel for the Huskers. This time I'll at least give them credit in that they did sell out for a fourth down stop. And sometimes when you're selling out for the line of scrimmage, much like this can happen. If a guy, breaks a tackle or is able to kind of buy some time, if he can break it to the outside, he's got nothing but green in front of him. And that's what happened here. So, to me, that's a little bit better and more forgivable of a situation, I suppose, than it happening on, just some random 2nd and 8 or 3rd and 6 or something like that. So, it's been a problem for Nebraska. It's not something that should be completely accepted, but they sold out to stop the run, and sometimes that can bite you if they, I should say they sold out to stop the middle of the field, and he was able to bounce outside, and sometimes that can happen on those kind of 4th and short deals where you're selling out.
Well, a lot of people complain about the refs calls and stuff during the game.
Yeah.
But I can tell you this, on that last play of the game, you got away with it. So don't be so quick to be judgmental about the refs because they also gave you one back at the end of the game. And I see a lot of people on Twitter just refs this, refs that. You know what? The refs don't beat you. When you play close to your opponent and you play down to their level, that would beat you. So you need to blow teams out and don't worry about the refs. And like I said, that last play, because that was actually holding on that, it should have been a pass interference call. Yeah. So, don't be so judgmental about talking about the refs when they also give you the same type of treatment that they give to other teams.
Well, and I'm not going to deny, I think that was probably one that they could have called and cost the receiver the opportunity to get to the ball. But we also always say, let the players decide it. I like the refs to kind of swallow their whistle a little bit. Now, if it's completely obvious, then so be it. And I think to what a lot of people are saying too is just, the 4th down reception that they gave to Northwestern, he was bobbling it. He didn't have full control of it until he was behind the first round yard to gain. That's the one that people are most frustrated with. Northwestern, of course, went in and scored a touchdown in the 2-point conversion after that, which really made it a game. So, it was not it's not the best game tape for the refs. And they could have called that at the end, and we would have been right here. But I mean, that's how these games are going to go. If it's a 1-possession game, there's always going to be something that's kind of lingering over your head as where Nebraska could have lost. I mean, heck, remember the Cincinnati game. If they didn't go for that end zone shot, they maybe could have kicked a field goal and won in overtime. They had all the momentum. Or maybe if they didn't go for that end zone shot, then maybe they would have scored later in that drive. But there's all these ifs and buts. But ultimately what happened is Nebraska made the right plays, made enough of the right plays, maybe didn't get had the ref swallow his whistle, but the ref had not done a great job. I don't want to say the refs altogether had not done a great job throughout the game. I mean, fans were audibly, you could hear it on the television screen, booing the ref and going against the ref. And Matt Rule even brought that up today. That's how bad the officiating was against Nebraska at one point in time. So,
well, when you talk about
it goes
that,
back the other way.
Yeah, when you talk about that abrupt movement, that's something they have right now. That's like jumping, Bock. Like fake jumping, trying to make the offense jump off sides. That's actually a rule they started implementing a couple of years ago to help the offense out. So defenses, we did that a lot back in the 90s. So I think that's a great thing they do for the offense. So the defense won't be able to make them jump like that, because me and Jay, we jumped in the middle. We jumped like we was just jumping back and forth, just trying to make a guy jump off sides. Great call. Just the rule they got made up in college football.
Honestly, it is funny. Those, they're one way or the other. There seems to be a call in a Nebraska game that you've never heard of before. So
I heard it before. It's been called several times on plenty of teams, but I guess Nebraska, I don't know. We got a lag in calls, or we just don't know them. So it's better that you know what's going on out there if you don't. All right, Bock, let's go to break, and when we come back, we're gonna talk quickly about coaching in the college football, and then we're going to jump on some Matt Rule. But I'm going to tell you right now, Bock, I'm such a big fan of Kirk Cignetti that I think this team might go 15-0 for the rest of the year. 93.7 The Ticket, Bock in the Black Shirt. We'll be right back.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription, or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, expecting overcast skies with a light breeze, an afternoon high around 57. Tonight, showers likely with a low around 46. And tomorrow, a continued chance of showers. The west spotty skies will be windy, the high near 56. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
When the clock strikes 0 after every Nebraska football game, there's only one place to go for instant coverage. Tune in for the Husker After Party Postgame Show on 93.7 The Ticket for each game, win or lose. Call in with all your takes or text the show at 464-5685 and hear quotes from the players and coaches too. It's the Husker After Party Postgame Show, sponsored by Anderson Ford and Vinny Kreekak of State Farm Insurance.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Are you familiar with everything the Lincoln Children's Museum offers? Camps, field trips, and game day playdates are just a few of the extraordinary programs provided by the Lincoln Children's Museum. When you spend a day with your family at the Lincoln Children's Museum, your child's mind can explore while enjoying the many interactive exhibits they have, while keeping admission prices extremely affordable. Stop by the Lincoln Children's Museum today in downtown Lincoln, or visit them online for more information at lincolnchildrensmuseum.org.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
When it comes to keeping your equipment running, you've got options at Landmark Implement. Whether you need premium John Deere parts or a more economical solution, A&I parts from Landmark deliver the dependable performance you can count on with cost savings up to 40%. From filters and bearings to belts and everyday repairs, A&I parts are built to work as hard as you do while helping stretch your budget further. Stop by your local Landmark Implement parts counter today or shop online anytime at shop.deere.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Hi, everybody. Charlie Stone back again with Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, there are so many great things to talk about right now. Let's start with new and pre-owned vehicles.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, we're all excited those days of inventory shortages are behind us. Right now, we have more than 400 new Hondas to choose from and over 125 pre-owned with just about any make or model in stock.
I know certified pre-owned Hondas are a very important part of your dealership. Tell us about certified, Andy.
We always have a great selection of certified pre-owned Hondas in stock in like new condition, and they also come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty.
How about service?
You know, our amazing service department not only services Hondas, but we service just about any make, and we are one of the largest tire dealers in the state. Look us up the next time you need tires on your car.
Experience the best at the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Bock in the Black Shirt here. Bock, let's talk some college football for a minute. Now, LSU head coach Brian, I forgot his name.
Brian Kelly, yeah.
Brian Kelly. Fired, Bock. I think they 5-3 this year. $54 million buyout, Bock, which is crazy to me.
It is absolutely insane. I mean, what's going on in college football? Again, I put it this way, and I think this is, one of the more interesting firings we've seen. I don't think he's a great fit culturally, right? I mean, he's kind of always been rough around the edges, so I get part of the idea in letting him go. But Kelly had a lead on the number 3 team in the nation at halftime and was ranked in the top 20 going into the game. And then by Sunday, he's out of a job and owed $54 million. I mean, it is just crazy to see. And maybe LSU, I understand it. They think they should be winning a national championship every year, and maybe he's not quite doing that. But he was winning 70% of his games. 2 of his 3 teams have finished ranked in the top, I think it's top 20. The other team was 9-4, so it's not like they were off by a whole lot. 2 of their 3 losses this year are by a touchdown to top 20 teams. And, you look at like one of the big marks against him right now is Brian Kelly took over in 2022. He's had the most losses as an AP ranked team. What's holding against him now is Kelly and the Tigers are 23-13 as AP ranked teams since 2022, the most such losses of any program. I'm sitting back there and I'm going 23-13 as a ranked team. That sounds fantastic. I mean, I'd love to be in that position. So it is just crazy to see, the expectations obviously coming into the year. Garrett Nussmeier. I mean, boy, were we wrong in the offseason. Garrett Nussmeier and the Cade Kolubniks and the Arch Mannings and the Drew Allers. Those are the top 4 quarterbacks coming into the nation. Not so much. LSU I think is like 122nd in passing offense. So there are real problems there with LSU, and I get it. But still, you're getting rid of a coach that's won 70% of his games. You know, won a Heisman Trophy there, or at least one of his players did, in Jaden Daniels. I know you've kind of been somewhat against him or saying he's just not a fit, and I do agree with that. But again, with a lot of these teams, just kind of be careful what you wish for. LSU and Penn State, specifically, because you're not always going to get grass is not always greener. We'll put it that way.
Well, here's my part about college football, Bock. They complain about money all the time. Now, the same thing here I think about Nebraska. You complain about money, but you want to give coaches raises. These coaches make enough as it is right now. Now, here's my resolution to this, Bock. Instead of signing coaches to 8, 9-year, 10-year deals, sign them to 2-year contracts and re-up it every 2 years. Don't really go out and spend $70, $80 million on a coach when you need $40, $50 million a year for a roster. I mean, when you talk about coaches asking for more money for the NIL, when you I'm not really talking about Matt Rule. I'm talking about college football in different. Now, when you talk about his $54 million, you talk about James Franklin, who also gets 40-something million. You talk about Billy Napier, who gets 20-something million. You talk about Jimbo Fisher, who doesn't have to coach ever again. He got 89-something, 67 or whatever it was million. And I think I just think college football needs to slow down, because now you're paying players. I think the more we can get coaches on 2-3 year contracts, I think that's better, because Bock, it's been over 12 coaches that been fired, and that's probably it's at least 12 FBS coaches has been fired this year, Bock. And when I say all that, Bock, it's because they have to adapt to now this new NIL, this new transfer portal, this pay to play process, and it's costing coach jobs that's probably been there 2-3 years that usually can get a 5-year deal out of it if it wasn't for so much pressure on all these schools to try to win so fast, because everybody wants to be at Indiana. Everybody wants to be at Ohio State. You can't. You don't have the money to. So that's my take on it. Just 2 years. Hey, I'll talk to you in 2 years. I'm not giving you a raise. I'm not doing this. Just plain and simple, play out your contract.
Yeah, I mean, for the longest time, college football coaches have ruled the sport, absolutely, because they've kind of had more of a leash, if you will, and these teams, these players kind of came out every 4 years, every 5 years, but now with all the changes in college football, there's more of an expectation to win now. There's more frustration from your top donors who are donating large sums, and then but it's never enough. You always get another phone call about another position need, something like that. So I mean, I think the frustration is boiling over. And again, in some cases, some of these guys probably it's time to go. I mean, I don't think Sam Pittman's kind of been sitting on the fence for quite some time. Deshaun Foster never looked like the right hire. Mike Gundy's as good as he's been there for the longest time. I mean, they're about as god awful as they've been since he's been there. But some of these other guys, the Brian Kellys, the James Franklins, you're going to pay a lot of money for them to leave. I'll tell you what, both of them are going to be two of the top names people are going to call when they want a head coach. I mean, Brian Kelly's the all-time winningest coach at Notre Dame. He had some really good defensive coordinators there. People are speculating maybe that kind of led to his success there over the years. But he's not just Notre Dame. He's wildly successful at Cincinnati and other stops before then. So we'll see how it all plays out. You can make the big splashy hire. Brian Kelly was that a couple years ago for LSU. They poured in a lot of money. They thought this is going to, Lincoln Riley that same offseason. Same thing for USC. And he hasn't, both of them, I suppose, have won Heisman Trophy quarterbacks there, but they have not had the team success they want. So, there is something to paying and pouring in money, and you need to be competitive in that aspect. But at the same time, the Indiana story is not about money. The Indiana story is about finding a diamond in the rough, a coach that maybe hadn't had his opportunity, and a guy that has been developing guys all along. And that's what Indiana comes into this year. They don't have 4- and 5-star literally on that roster, yet they're number 2 in the nation, and they're beating down anybody that tries to get in their way. So, at some point, teams are going to have to learn. You can't just throw money at a problem and expect it to be fixed overnight. It's going to take some time. And, for Brian Kelly, he just didn't have a whole lot down there in Baton Rouge. We'll see what happens. There's plenty of, Sark. Sark's going to have to win some games. He's got a tough schedule ahead of him. It just feels like nobody's necessarily safe anymore.
Well, when we talk about these jobs, Bob, you gotta understand this carousel is going around and around and around. Just look at it, Bob. I mean, you got all these coaches now. What's the best job out here right now, Bob, to you?
I think LSU. But Penn State and Florida are two of the top 12, 15 jobs in the nation. LSU right there with it. I think LSU might be the top one.
Yeah, I think it is. But Buck, this is they're only gonna flip-flop jobs.
Right.
They're only gonna James Franklin can go to LSU. He can go to Florida. He can go to Florida State. Dabo. How about seeing him in LSU gear? You know what I'm saying, Buck? You're not doing nothing but coach swapping, and then you're getting the same results that you're going to get from any other coach you're going to get.
Well, that's just the question: is who's out there? Who are all these big time programs going to land? And I think without really Lane Kiffin's obviously the big name right now at Florida and at LSU. But I guess what you're kind of getting to is back to what Brian Kelly in the Lincoln Riley cycle went through, which is they're going to have to steal them from other top programs, which is going to leave other big programs, hiring. So, and at some point, a lot of these guys, it's not the NFL. A lot of these guys, the head coaches that have failed in the past might not get the more opportunities. It might be up and coming OCs or defensive coordinators. And, that's how everybody kind of gets their start. Eventually, you got to make that jump to head coach. So there will be opportunities there. But the thing is, it's not even Halloween, right? And that's what's interesting to see how many more of these jobs are going to open. I think we all figure Mike Norvell at Florida State certainly looks like one. Michigan State's Jonathan Smith, they've lost like 5 in a row. That's not turning out as well as they'd wanted to. We know about North Carolina, the Bill Belichick disaster. I don't know if they'll move off him, but it's not. It wouldn't be crazy to see it happen. Justin Wilcox has been on the hot seat, it seems like, for years at Cal. Luke Fickell, obviously, they're. I don't know if they have the money to fire him. They're the one program that's in like, I don't know if we could do it. But if it just came to performance on the field, he would. So there's just a lot more to play out ahead of us. And there's going to be more openings. This is a crazy age of college football, and we'll see. I don't know if these are the right moves for some of these teams. They probably will be, as is usual with any carousel. Some teams will get it right, some teams won't. As we know in the past, and I've argued this for years, for Nebraska, sometimes it's not whether you need to fire the guy, it's who you're bringing in, right? So if you've got a good plan, like Nebraska moving off of Bo Pelini for Mike Riley, terrible idea. It doesn't even make a whole lot of sense on paper even. Moving off Bo Pelini is not the problem. Who do you have replacing him? And there's a lot of big-time names out there, a lot of big-time jobs out there and not a lot of big-time names out there. So the replacement level of some of these jobs as it trickles down to maybe those second, third tier jobs like UCLA, Oklahoma State, are they going to get the names they thought they would now that Florida State might be out there, Florida, LSU, and obviously, the top, obviously Penn State are going to get the top names that are in this cycle.
Yeah. Somebody asked, doesn't Indiana have the second highest NALs spent this year? I don't know. They got around 20, I think. A little bit over 20, it says they got. So it's like 12th nationally right here when they talk about NAL budget. They had 13.6 in late 2024.
Yeah, we'll have to see. The point is, if you look at the talent, I wasn't necessarily looking
I'm not
at
worried
NIL.
about the NAL part. I'm worried about Kirk Signetti. The best thing going on right now. Half of his players are still from James Madison on his team. Buck, this guy is doing. I think Kirk Signetti has the right stuff to go 15-0. I do. I 100% believe it when I watch his coaching style, when I watch the players he develops, and I watch how strong his offense is. You're 10 times better than they were last year.
Yeah, and again, it's tough to track this NIL stuff. Some websites might tell you something different. Again, looking at one from Sports Illustrated here, they just had the top 10. Indiana wasn't in it. Indiana's talent composite ranking, if you look at that measure of it, it's like 74th in the nation or something like that. So, they might have, and I'm sure they did add a little bit like everybody does in the transfer portal, but I'll try to run that down and see if there's any. I mean, there's nothing concrete as we know in NIL spending, but we can try to look into it a little more.
Yeah, I don't think they're spending it like that, but at the same time, they're still kicking butt. So it doesn't matter how much they spend. It's just a 2-year coach at his second year at that program doing it like that, Bock.
Yeah.
All right, Bock. Let's go to break, and I guess we can spend the last couple of minutes listening to a little Matt Rule. If not, we can catch it tomorrow. Good.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740. MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Mo's Moving is now Mo's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com. The temperature and leaves are falling daily, so that means it's time for a new pair of shoes for the fall season from Brown's Shoe Fit. Now through October 31st, take $15 off any regularly priced fall shoes and boots. Brands like Keen, Oboz, Echo, Taos, and Atrex all $15 off. Some exclusions may apply. See store for details. This is the sale you've all been waiting for, so get down to Brown's Shoe Fit on 66th and Q. Bonsall Pool & Spa's annual Spooktacular sale is here. Now through November 1st, get an extra $1,000 off hot tubs at an already low sale price and get $500 off the already low sale prices on infrared and traditional saunas. All hot tub water care products and accessories are also for sale for the Spooktacular sale, now through November 1st at Bonsall Pool & Spa at 33rd and Highway 2. Call for more info at 402-488-0148 or visit bonsallpool.com.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top-quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
When the clock strikes 0 after every Nebraska football game, there's only one place to go for instant coverage. Tune in for the Husker After Party Postgame Show on 93.7 The Ticket for each game, win or lose. Call in with all your takes or text the show at 464-5685 and hear quotes from the players and coaches, too. It's the Husker After Party Postgame Show, sponsored by Anderson Ford and Vinny Krikak of State Farm Insurance.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to the last segment right here on Bock the Blackshirt, 93.7 The Ticket. We're going to take the last couple of minutes and listen to a little Matt Rule. Bock, roll them.
Yeah, we will, but we do have a Cash Blitz keyword to get.
Oh, Bocker.
Hey, we do need a Cash Blitz keyword. It's a chance for $1,000 for one of our listeners out there, so we don't want to bypass that. It is time for the IBA $1,000 cash contest keyword. Text it in to 508-777-1000. Head to our website, theticketfm.com, to click on Cash Blitz to enter. Give you a second to pull out your phone or open the site. Today, the word on Bock the Blackshirt is score. That's spelled S-C-O-R-E. Text that to 508-777-1000 for your chance at $1,000. Remember, every keyword you enter is another chance to win. One lucky listener will take home $1,000 tomorrow around noon. Don't wait. Get that keyword in now. And now we can get to Matt Rule. Let's start with an injury update for the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Health-wise, I mean, obviously, we're down to some injuries at right tackle. Teddy's done. He won't be able to play anymore. So Gunner's banged up. So we're just going to have guys battle through, and that's what. But I also know that that's what every other team's dealing with too. And so need our guys to continue to do what they've been doing.
So obviously, the biggest news of the press conference today. Unfortunate news to Teddy Prohaska, who's battled injuries his whole career. Another season ender for him. Gunnar Gatula going to be hurt. We mentioned it earlier in the show. Not exactly a position of strength for Nebraska. So we'll see. I mean, Turner Corcoran, of course, in his 6 years, he's battled injuries himself. Has been playing pretty well this year. Elijah Pritchett. Hey, there was no big Elijah Pritchett play this week, right? There's nothing really to talk about there, which is good.
Leave him alone.
So hopefully those guys can iron it out and have a good game. And they need some of the younger depth to kind of help step up now. Let's go into some more from Matt Rule. Of course, it is a big week for Sierra Wright playing against his former team in UCLA. Here's what Coach Rule had to say about that.
I'm sure last year going back to USC was emotional for him, and then he had the pick six, right? And then he's just such a different. He's just grown so much from when he first got here, and he got here in a great place. I mean, just seeing the maturity and the leadership. I mean, I truly every Thursday night get a text message from him. Can you please turn the stadium lights on? He's out there every Thursday night when he's got a whole group of guys with him, and he's doing what he's doing on the field. He's doing way more behind the scenes for our culture and the things that we want to have moving forward. So I'm sure he'll be really, excited to play against his buddies and friends. Like last year, he knew a bunch of the guys, at the same time, you got to keep the main thing. And that's being focused and neutral and playing each play. And if there's anybody that I trust to do it, it's him. I walked in the team meeting yesterday and I talked first and, we dap each other up. He walked up and dapped me up, tell the guys to move around. I said, hey, I'm going to light you guys up here. He said, as you should. And so when you have guys like that are okay with, getting coached hard, even after a win, you can do special things. And so I'm unbelievably grateful. You probably guys haven't heard me talk this glowingly about someone this many times, but it's just what he's done has just been like this. And that's the goal of our program, to make our players play their best version of themselves, be the best on the field, off the field, and in the classroom. And he is become an amazing leader and also an excellent player.
Well, you'll never get me at night on Thursday night, Bock.
Why is that?
No, I mean, We had too many. We gave it all we had to give Monday through Friday. So I mean Monday through Thursday. So there's no need for us to go out there. And plus, it's just, that's a short day, and then the next day is a walkthrough. So we taught, the way Coach McBride taught us is that we handle all our business at practice. We have enough stations that we go through to complete it. We do enough study stuff in our meetings, and we get, we don't get to take home tablets for studying. We took home big books, Bock. It was big folders that with all the stuff that they have, but at the same time, to each his own, Bock. But I would never be out there on a Thursday night.
Well, and for you guys, you're at the top of college football. There's that. They have some room to grow. And Sear Wright, it's good to see him leading Nebraska. You heard the broadcast, and from the interviews they kind of did. They don't just randomly say this. Talking about him as the heart and soul of that defense. And again, that defense up until this past week, I don't know if you noticed, they dropped from number 1 to number 2 in the nation. But now the number 2 pass defense in the nation. This is the test. This is what we were talking about all year. You might say, well, they didn't play the best passing teams. Here comes number 1 in the nation, the number 1 passing attack, USC against the number 2 passing defense in Nebraska. Of course, that is going to be the big highlighted matchup of the week. And if Sear Wright in this secondary can prove that ranking to be right and can step up and nullify USC's passing offense, Nebraska's going to have a lot better chance to win this game. Now, it is interesting. I said earlier, I don't want to talk about playoffs. I don't just think Nebraska's necessarily in that position. Matt Rule brought it up.
Yeah. Well, if you lose the game, it's, it's like, what's the point? So, even thinking that way, but I do think there's something to our guys. I've said since day one, because the first year we were 5-3 and we went 4 games in a row where we had to win. I said, you need to learn how to win in November. Like, doesn't matter what happens in September. Doesn't really matter what happens in October. Like, you need to learn how to win in November. And we didn't quite get it done. Like, we battled, man. You think about those games, like, we almost beat Wisconsin at home. We had so many turnovers. Then we almost beat Iowa. But that was the message, like, play great football in November. You're training for November, not for September. Like, beating, whomever 50-0 doesn't matter. It's a step on the road. Right. And then last year we came down this stretch, right. And we lost 3 in a row. And we were sitting there, I think at like 5-4. And it was felt like playoff games to get into the bowl game, get into the postseason. So I do think there's something to telling the guys, like, hey, you work all year long to get yourself in a position to be relevant in November. I think the biggest thing though is, like, depending on how our mindset is, like, you can be the team that showed up at Minnesota, or you could be the team that showed up here. Like, so we can't control. I mean, if USC is just way, way better than us, then so be it. But let's just worry about ourselves, and let's just prepare for ourselves. And I think we have a pretty good team when we do that. So, I'm excited about the team and the things that they've done and the growth that they've made. My goal has always been, I go back to when I first went to the Giants, and Jerry Reese said to me, like, I always want to come down the stretch of every year with a chance to make it in the college football playoff. But the thing I want our guys to understand is you have to win your way into it. I mean, the whole season's an elimination tournament in college football. So especially in the Big Ten, but there's a bunch of teams right now that are at 5-2 and 6-2, and you have to win your way in.
It is interesting if you watch the game too, as they were winding down the game on NBC this past week. That's how they framed it. That's how college football is kind of built now. Is until you're eliminated, this could be a college football game with playoff implications. And so that's the way they're framing this USC Nebraska game. Again, I don't necessarily love it. I don't think Nebraska is a playoff team. I think that's kind of a step ahead. But if you beat USC, then there very much will be real talk surrounding Nebraska. And if they could finish out their final 3 games and maybe get into that situation. So even though I don't like it, even though I don't think it should be the focus, it is what college football is now. And it's a very real opportunity if you beat the Trojans here on Saturday.
Yeah. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, Bock. It's going to be I'm not even worried about that part of it. Like I said, we need to concentrate on this game this week. You need to give all your focus to a USC team that's very talented. You can't look past this game, because if you do, you're going to be in the rearview mirror the whole game trying to catch up to them. Like I say, one game at a time. Study well this week. Make sure you know what they're doing when they're at the offense, at the line. Make sure you know the running plays. Make sure you fill them gaps. Make sure you tip those balls. This is a big game. So, I just think have a great week of practice, because without knowing what your opponent is doing, you're in it for the long run.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I mean, it's a big game. It's a big week. I'm glad to be here all week with you here, Terrell, as we get ready for the blackout against USC.
All right. Up next, Austin and old man Jay Foreman, 93.7 The Ticket. We'll be right back.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious